Boom.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Renegade Capes on the Renegade Pop Culture Podcast Network. My name is Mike. I'll be your host for this evening. Joining me to my left, we've got Brock.
What's up, everybody? Got a new setup, and I'm feeling really good that I can help out again.
Awesome. Below me, we've got Teresa.
Hello.
And returning to the website, but his first Capes episode, we've got Tommy.
Good evening, one and all. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Whatever time of day you are watching this, it is absolutely spectacular to be here. Thanks for the invite, Mike.
Of course. Today's episode is going to be a weird one. These three movies and shows have almost nothing in common. We'll be starting with The Boys Season 3, followed by a complete series review of Miss Marvel. And our headliner is Thor: Love and Thunder. But first, let's get into The Boys, because this season was something. Brock, I'm gonna start with you since you just binged the series like this past week. As a Supernatural fan, how happy were you to see Jensen working with Kripke again?
I have screamed to the heavens for 15 years that Jensen Ackles is an amazing actor that no one gives credit to because they didn't want to watch anything on the CW. For the most part, I don't blame you. But my God, he's been great for half of my life. Finally, he's on The Boys, and I get all these people coming out of the woodwork going, this Jensen Ackles guy, he's really good. I've never heard of him. I'm like, don't you even. I've been screaming at you to watch Supernatural for half my life. I'm so happy Jensen is able to be in something like this. Him and Kripke with no network. Oh! Jensen has been wanting to say fuck for so long.
Yeah.
Oh.
I honestly, the only episode of Supernatural I've ever watched start to finish is the Scooby-Doo crossover. But even then I realized, no, this guy is legit. And I'm partially familiar with his work in voiceover. Obviously, if you're a Batman fan, he is the Red Hood in Under the Red Hood.
Finally.
And he's Batman
Yes.
in, I can't remember exactly what
Long
movie
Halloween,
it was.
or if I'm remembering it correctly, Long
Oh,
Halloween.
that's
that one and two.
That's right. But yeah, seeing him working with Kripke again and actually getting to show off like so much more of his range is just it was just kind of perfect.
Yeah. It's one of those things where what I try to explain to people, it's very hard for people that are normally TV actors for a long time to get movie roles. Because, like with Jensen, I've seen him on the same show for 15 years. Even if you play a very specific character, it is hard for you to not show basically everything over time when you play the same character for 15 years. You're put in enough situations as that character to where you get to see everything from him. I like I've said, I think Jensen is an amazing, unbelievably talented actor. But there was still a teeny bit of me that was like, am I just going to see Dean Winchester? Not even slightly. Dean was nowhere to be found. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Something else I really liked about this season in particular was the fact that Homelander is not okay.
That's putting it lightly.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, basically this season asks the question, what does the Seven look like without any like non-super leader? Like in season 1 we got rid of I forget Elizabeth Shue's character's name.
All I remember a lot. Oh man, I can't remember her name. All I do is remember is feeling unbelievably uncomfortable anytime breast milk was brought up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, I can't think of her name.
Sitwell.
Sitwell, yeah.
Okay, so at the end of season 1, we get rid of Sitwell. And then at the start of this season, Stan Edgar is out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's Homelander running the show by himself, and he's losing control in like every sense of the word.
Shocker. When you let the quote unquote mama's boy who's starved for attention his entire life be in charge of who gets all the attention, magically it doesn't go well.
And then the other interesting thing about the season is Butcher and Huey get a taste of the super life. And you know how Garth Ennis kind of hates superheroes? You can, I mean, this is a better version of, and I'm not saying like with any authority because I haven't really read the comics, but just based on what I've heard, this is like the better version of what he was trying to do in the early 2000s.
From what I have been, and I have the Cliff Notes version, this version is another continent away from what he was doing, because like Black Noir is a Homelander clone.
Yeah.
Who gets accused of doing all the things that Homelander actually did, and then Homelander didn't do a bunch of stuff, so he was actually like innocent. And the boys get powers permanently to even the playing field. It's all over the place, totally different. This is a lot more, in my opinion, zeroed in on how just bad, if this situation was real life, could be.
Mm-hmm.
And they picked, what did we want to do? We want to zero in. We want to get everybody going in a certain direction. And their direction they very much pick is Butcher versus Homelander. All the extra bits and bobs that are there, the random group of heroes that are the only actual good people, but they basically can only save cats because they made their powers purposely horrible because they're good people. And it's just all this stuff. They are picking the stuff that, like, Hero-gasm, things that you want to know about, things that you wanted to show, and whoa, and that you wanted to see. But they're very much like Homelander can be an unbelievably amazing character if we zero in on just how fucked this individual is.
Yeah, and another common theme shared across like a couple different characters is parenthood. Because you have MM basically doing everything for his daughter, and you know he wants to present himself like a certain way. Homelander is kind of sorta the son of Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
And it may seem like one of those kind of generic last minute reveals, but they actually do some pretty interesting things with that reveal in the finale.
How they handled it made me be okay with it, because if it would have been just ha ha ha, Butcher, I now have the other most powerful person on the planet behind me, and Jensen just goes, no, you are just like me, a fucking disappointment, and then they try and kill each other anyway.
I love that.
That was so good.
We'll get to Ryan in a second, but speaking of parents, Huey, one of his best moments, also in the finale, is the pizza rolls speech he gives to Starlight, which I thought was a really touching moment.
Oh, it was, absolutely. And it gets one of those things where it's like, where you don't have to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger to be strong. And I very much appreciate that. Some of the strongest people in my life are just there to help you stay together. That's all you need to do. In fact, most people that are the strongest individuals aren't jacked super beasts. be honest, because they know their worth, and a lot of people, sometimes people like that don't know their worth and try and make themselves look bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they just didn't care. The one theme this season was, yeah, the rule book's out, plot armor's off. We don't care.
And that's what makes the show so fascinating to watch every week. And unlike a lot of streaming shows, you can tell Kripke is like built. He was forged in the fires of network television. There was an interview that came out recently where he's kind of slamming not slamming, but he's commenting on how other filmmakers don't really understand how TV pacing works. And he's like, some of these filmmakers are like, I'm making a 10-hour movie. And he's like, no, you're making a goddamn TV show. Act like it.
It is different. That's like James Gunn said also recently, that now that he's made a TV show, he wants to keep making TV shows. It's a high-profile movie director that had more fun making a TV show. It must be a different process.
Yeah. And anything else stand out to you in this season?
I do like that. What do I want to say? Like I said, the gloves were off. Nothing was really off the table. Some of the stuff, man, I don't think there is a more adorable human being on this planet than Karen Fukuhara.
Yes.
I would give my life for that woman if she asked me to. She is a murderous, supercharged psychopath at moments in this, and then has a musical number and kisses Frenchie, and then she's just smiling and can we watch Singing in the Rain? I'm like, she's only 30. She has less than 15 credits on IMDb. She is so talented.
She is. And I'm just really happy that in this show she gets to show off a little bit of everything that she can do.
Mm-hmm.
Because outside of the first Suicide Squad movie and The Boys, obviously, most of the stuff that I've seen her in is voiceover roles in animated shows like She-Ra and The Prince of Power and Kipo in The Age of Wonder Beast. She plays the title character.
Mm-hmm.
And she does get to sing a little bit in that too.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a really good voice.
Yes.
So I'm just really happy that even though that episode wasn't a full blown musical, she still gets to show off her pipes a little.
She does. And another thing with her, and it's one thing I appreciated, and it shocked me that Eric had to explain this because someone went at him on Twitter about it, that they didn't understand that one of the main cool things about them taking Compound V is that it was literally a different purpose for each and every person that took it.
Yep.
There's literally no difference between Huey and Butcher taking Compound V. I'm like, stop. Did you watch this show even at all? And then they were they couldn't understand how it was any different for Kimiko wanting to take it. I'm like, bro, were your eyeballs open while you were watching this? Starlight didn't give two shits about Huey wanting to be powerful. Huey misunderstood what being powerful was. That was his whole trek through the show. It was masked when he was taking V. Kimiko and Frenchie, she hated her fucking powers because she thought that's what made her a monster. And then she realized she was still that person without them, but then she couldn't protect Frenchie without them. She wanted to protect her family. So she took them back for a genuine good purpose, for actual protection that was okayed by Frenchie. Butcher just wanted to kill Homelander. And then after a while, he was like, this shit's going to kill Huey. I'm not having him do it. I'm not having another Lenny situation. So he knocked out Huey, got him away from it, and it's like, if someone's going to go down this stupid path and finish this dumb shit and someone dies for it, it's going to be me. Anyone that can watch this show and not see that just them taking a drug is not the same thing when it has such unbelievably vastly different things, do not understand how freaking smart the writing of them taking V was. And especially by making it temporary, and other than in the cases of Kimiko.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had to keep doing it. It makes them reaffirm their decisions. It's so smart. This same show that has a freaking Ant-Man ripoff crawl inside a man's penis and destroy it from the inside has that smart of writing in it.
Yep.
I try to suggest this show to people and explain it, and I can't.
That's the problem, because when you try to explain the show, like, people either won't believe you, or like you just have to watch them. You just have to watch it for yourself, because if you try to explain it to someone and you don't do a good enough job, they'll just be completely turned off.
They will. And like, friend of mine at work, one of our forklift drivers, used to work in my department, Tara. Sweet old girl, but she has a lot of the same interests as me. She's like, what'd you do this weekend? I'm like, oh, I finally started watching The Boys. I'm pretty excited about it because one of my favorite actors, Jensen's in it. She's like, what's The Boys? I'm like, oh, dear God. Okay, so I try to explain, like, that they're in their own movies and that they have their own merchandise and, like, they're off this. He's like, so they're, like, products? I'm like, kind of, but then you have to see what it would be like if they were made of, like, what's this? She's like, well, send me a trailer and I'll see if I want to watch it. I forgot just how unhinged that first trailer for season 1 of The Boys is.
Oh, God.
It goes from A-Train taking out Robin on the sidewalk to like the accusations of the Deep with Starlight to all of a sudden them in the subway where Butcher's like, we're the fucking Spice Girls. And then it turns on If You Want to Be My Lover to Butcher holding laser baby, murdering people in that morgue. And I'm like, I'm going to send this to her and it's not going to help. And then I sent it to her and she's like, I understand why you said you couldn't explain it, but that looks cool. I'm going to try it. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I don't know what to do. It's just so weird. Oh.
Yeah, this show it's a lot for better and or for worse.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you, how do you feel about how it ended?
I'm scared. I'm scared for the future of, like, our main characters, and I'm especially scared about Ryan.
Me too. Because there's a whole lot of not good parenting going on in that kid's life. And yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be 4 times as hard of no holds barred in this next season. But I have one legit, genuine fear. One legit, genuine fear. And it's a similar fear that I have currently with Ruby. And I've told you about this. In season 5 of Ruby, there's this girl, Cinder, who has tormented the team, killed multiple people they care about, tortured them, made their lives the most horrible thing ever. And every time that she fights up against them, they get turned into pathetic losers, and they just don't even stand a chance. She embarrasses them every time. And every time they get close to finishing her, it is always because of stupid luck or because Cinder made a mistake. She has outserved her purpose by 4 seasons now. And it's gotten to the point of where I'm terrified of when they finally take her down, that it will not do it justice for what she deserves. I have that fear with Homelander.
It is a valid fear. Let me look up really quick how many issues the comic had in comparison to how many seasons this show could have.
Because, like, give or take, I thought they were going to kill a Soldier Boy. They didn't! And you see him explode outside a hot tower, but, you know, he's still there. But
So there are 72 issues of the comic.
To my knowledge, they've cruised through most of them already. I don't know, but to my knowledge, from what I've understood, it's almost all the Seven's dead. And most of them killed by Homelander.
Yeah.
Either their powers have been taken, or they are waiting to die as of right now, as with A-Train and fucking the Deep. It's literally basically just Homelander. I want this show I love this show, but I want it to end next season.
Yeah, I honestly, the way the story's going, and not counting the, I think, 2 spin-offs in development.
The spin-off with douchebag Professor X in the mutants school.
Yeah,
the Varsity, I believe. Oh boy, I looked up the head of that school. It's, guess what? What if Professor X was a douchebag? But it's like Homelander has to get it.
Yeah.
And the contingency plan they had in the comics was a clone of Homelander in Black Noir. They don't have that. They don't have Black Noir at all anymore.
So it sounds like the show has kind of taken the Game of Thrones approach, where, after a certain point of just straight adapting the source material, they're like, nah, we're gonna go our own way.
I think they had, after a while, they were like, we know where we're going, and we're going to take the beats that people like on the way there. Kripke is very good at knowing his final destination. Like with Supernatural, up to season 5, I'm not saying the rest of the show's bad, but up into season 5, he had that meticulously planned out to a freaking T, and it was fantastic. Season 6 and 7, they got this showrunner, Sarah Gamble, and the show went, and then all of a sudden they got Jeremy Carver, and that thing went, boom, right back up in the air because they had a game plan again. Eric is very good at plotting things out, and he's very good about not letting you know at all what he's planning. I trust him. Everything he's made, I've liked, but it's getting to the point of where I need them to decapitate Homelander and then play hacky sack with his head in a town square. But I don't get to see that. I don't know who outside of like, what do I want to say? Butcher injected himself with every ounce of compound V on the planet, and then Soldier Boy and him, Eiffel Tower and him, I don't see him dying. I don't. It's scaring me at what they have to come up with next season, which is a good thing and a bad thing.
Put him in the sun.
That might have to be the last.
There you go,
last
doomsday
resort.
him.
Speaking of Black Noir, I forgot to mention his his cartoon imaginary friends was something I didn't even know I wanted.
It comes out of nowhere. He just in the elevator, boom, jabs a dagger to his arm, takes out his tracker chip, just places in that girl's lap, and then goes to Toontown for about 20 minutes.
It's nuts.
Also, before we forget, the one thing that I am still shocked happened. We get all this stuff with Blue Hawk.
Yeah.
They get him over patrolling Trenton in the black neighborhood there, and you get a great, unbelievably awesome moment where he just goes nuts at that meeting hall and paralyzes A-Train's brother. And then you get the interaction between him and Huey, where he actually has gotten to the point where he realizes how bad he fucked up with Robin. He's like, I understand how much I fucked you over. I'm actually genuinely sorry. And then Huey can't take it. That was a thing where it's like, I finally have this moment with you where I could beat your ass and you're actually sorry. Like, for real? And then he old schools him, drags him down the gravel road until he's nothing and he's dead. And then And then A-Train fucking dies. And those fucking heartless bastards at fought revive him by giving him Blue Hawk's heart.
Ugh.
I'd want to kill myself if I was fucking A-Train.
That is, like, for lack of a better term, the most heartless thing you could ever do.
Exactly. You can't. It's almost an impossible thing to write. And then I see that they did it, and I'm like, Kripke went, I have no one that can tell me no. I never want Kripke on a cable TV show ever again.
Kripke Unleashed is like the best thing ever.
Yes.
I've said it's become like I recently binged Black Lagoon. Love it. Love everything about it. Until the day I die, am going to root for Amazon to adapt it and let Kripke go fucking AWOL.
Oh, that would be something else.
Kripke to do whatever he wants in Roanapur? Sign me up. Amazon, you will make all the money. Oh. And now he's talking about how he wants to get Jared in a role.
Oh.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Bring them all in. Bring in all your toys back.
No, Jared, please.
The only other thing I have left to mention is, well, two. One, I hate Ashley's guts. She is. I'm sure the actress is like a very nice lady, but the character she plays is like one of those. She's one of those characters that like makes my skin crawl.
I will agree, but I will tell you, because of one thing she did at the end, she saves herself for me being the second most hated character. She's now the second most hated character on this show that came out of nowhere that made me want to stick his entire body in a grinder feet first. She deleted that video of them rescuing Maeve so that Homelander doesn't know she's alive.
Okay, that was her one redeeming quality.
That put her one step below step fuck. I'm sorry. That guy, no. He's another person that needs a near mythological ending in that next season.
Oh,
fuck
God,
that
yes.
guy. Oh, I hate him.
I mean, I understand that that's totally the point of his existence, but like, you know,
it's good writing, and I hate him that much.
No, like I said, the disclaimer is I'm sure the actor is a very nice gentleman, but fuck that character so.
Oh, absolutely. Oh.
Like in his first appearance, I thought he was just like a naive idiot. Like when he gets the snot beat out of him by MM, that's like no, he definitely deserved that. I understand it's like the point of that scene is like, you know, that traumatized his daughter for life, but he also deserved it.
Yeah. Put her in possible danger of a superhero freak out.
And then at the rally where he just becomes like a cartoon redneck.
Oh, that woman said my red, white, and blue's not evil. Fuck that guy. Laser her head off. He's completely right. I'm like, he just lasered a man's head off. Keep in mind, this borderline Aryan like statue holder that was previously fucking a Nazi.
Yep. Let's not forget
was
that.
Proud of it. Said, oh, you are below me and you're weak, stupid, and shrivel. Oh, there's a person that wants to express their opinion? Fuck that guy. Boom. By the way, here's my son. I just committed cold-blooded murder in front of him. Aren't I great? Thanks.
And this asshole's the first one to cheer.
Oh. And the stupid part is, I didn't even consider that unrealistic.
And you know what? That's probably why the alt-right like hates this show now.
I could see all of this happening. We had people storming the Capitol because they couldn't get haircuts. I could 1,000% see this happening. It's really sad. But it's written so simply and so easy.
Mhm.
All you have to do is look out the front door. You can be like, I can adapt that a little. Oh.
So Teresa, I have to ask, since you said off air you haven't seen this season yet. Have you
I've
seen
seen
any of the boys?
Yeah, I've seen most of season 1.
Okay. Man, I'm looking forward to when you're able to catch up, because
Well, you guys are making me very excited to catch up. I'm like, oh, there's so many things that I've
There is a new 14 things that this season, especially, every 2 minutes, I'm like, okay, what are we doing now? And then they're like, oh, we're doing this too. And I'm like, that's going to get lost. Nope. They travel through on everything. It's unbelievable. They go in 8 billion directions and finish each one off.
Mhm.
nice. And I love Jensen Ackles and I love Kripke, so
Yes.
it's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah. Here it is.
So one more thing I have to mention.
Go ahead. And there's one tiny anecdote.
In terms of like the whole, the compound V and the temp V thing, this show handles like the drug addiction so much better than like every CW show that tries it.
Oh yeah.
You remember when Laurel had to be a drug addict because she had no storyline? Yay! I lost my boyfriend, so I'm an
They can
alcoholic.
be more addicted to the drugs because it's like not censored by the network.
Well, that is true also.
So yeah, this kind of adds to like Kripke Unchained is like the best Kripke.
Yes.
Now, what was your anecdote?
I was reading an interview. Anthony Starr and Jensen, every show he gets on, becomes instantly best friends with one person. He's just a puppy that goes to the nearest person. He's like, let's be friends. And that new person he clicked with is Anthony Starr. Shocking. I was watching this interview about him like being kind of nervous about getting a super suit and like all the people he's heard with whatever's, and then he's doing all this, and he's like kind of scared because Dean was never like a jacked muscle guy. He was just a dude you're scared of because he's gonna beat the tar out of you. And all of a sudden he was like a little bit leaner, and then all of a sudden he's like, and she puts a suit on, and he looked kind of like whatever. And then all of a sudden he's like, are you gonna like pad the suit to like put the muscles on? And then like the seamstress goes to him, he's like, no, honey, you're gonna bring me muscles in April. And then he gets to the set, and then Anthony and everyone's laughing at him because like the scene he shoots, he just turned into this monster and he's got all this muscle, and then Anthony's pissing himself laughing. He's like, what's the problem? You didn't talk them into getting new padding? He's like, you never had to get muscle? So he's just like, yeah, I worked my ass off for 6 months for absolutely nothing, and then they laughed at me. Anthony's in the same interview, like falling off the fucking couch.
I love it. I did see that
so
interview.
Yeah, and then like another thing, I don't know if any of you are big Resident Evil fans, but please, I will pray to God every day until it happens. Make Anthony Starr Albert Wesker.
Ooh.
Please. It is literally a photocopy of Wesker from Resident Evil 5. And Anthony has proven he can play a evil person. And Albert's an evil person on the opposite end of the spectrum, where he's not trying to hold it together ever, and he's a maniacal, just like schemer. It's kind of like Homelander, but if you mix the stuff around and a lot more cartoony. Oh, it's a match made in heaven.
Ooh, yeah, that.
Just get a competent writer. That's all you need to do, Sony.
Good luck.
Just try it once. It'd be great.
So final thoughts on the boys before we move on to Miss Marvel.
10 out of 10. These were so good.
Yeah. This show honestly has gotten better with each season. I don't know where the show is going to end. It might end next season, or they might take it to season 5. who knows? But I'm just extremely happy with what I've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, Tommy, you said that you said that you're not caught up with the boys, but have you seen any of the shows so far?
This is why we don't have nice things. No, it's I've not caught up with the boys yet. So no, I've got nothing to say on the matter. I've got a lot of catching up to do. I'll just leave it at that.
You are in for a treat.
I am so looking forward to it.
Indeed. So now we pivot to the opposite direction from a show that hates superheroes to a show that absolutely loves them, Miss Marvel. Teresa, I'm going to start with you. Your general thoughts on this series?
Yeah, I like how this, well, I liked it. Some people might not like it, but I feel like it feels totally separate from the rest of the MCU. It has its own look and feel. It's so culturally rich. I just love like all the colors, and like it's more like whimsical than the other dark doom, endgame type stuff. And I thought, Hawkeye was like pretty whimsical and like lighter and family friendly, but this one goes way deeper, like way more about family. And I absolutely adore her parents. Miss Marvel's parents are like actually my favorite part, probably. And like just her journey of like, letting them know that she's a superhero, and the ending where the mom is like fully supporting her. I was just like so ready. Like the payoff was like so good. It did feel a little short. I was like, that's it. But she's coming back. She's gonna be in Captain Marvel too. So I was like, okay, I'll calm down. I don't need to demand things from it. But it was a little bit kind of she found her powers, she figured out who she was, and show's over. And I'm like, I need more.
This is honestly the first. I've had a few more hours to think about this, and out of all the 6-episode Marvel shows, this is the first one that in the end I think it justified its 6-episode story, but I could have used a few more just to flesh out the world, but the ending was, barring a few janky bits of CGI, and the villains being a bit not quite the best, but I think this finale was so perfect that it ended up justifying its 6-episode run, as opposed to some of the other shows that definitely felt kneecapped by what I can only assume is some sort of mandate.
It's about money.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely about money. And as we've learned in the past couple days, the people who work on the VFX are very not happy with the limited amount of time they get to work on this stuff. So Brock, we talked earlier about the finale, but on the whole, how do you feel about this show's pacing and just the overall story?
I'm one of those people in the same camp that I very much liked it. I literally felt like I was watching Lizzie McGuire dropped in the MCU, and I could not get enough of it. All of the editing of the random stuff and the graffiti coming up the side of the walls and the off the walls, just editing they haven't had any other shows. They were just we were doing something unbelievably different, and I loved it. The whole, like you said, I felt like I got a little bit of oh man, now I can't think of it. It's on Netflix. Oh, the convenience store. Kim's Convenience. I felt like I was watching Kim's Convenience, plopped in there with Lizzie McGuire and a little bit about Kamal. It was all of that, just the family, everything. It was so well done. They knew exactly what they wanted. And like you said, the family dynamics were so well worked out. Everyone was perfect. Bruno was the only one who I thought was kind of like lost spinning his wheels at points. Like he was just kind of there to be there at certain times. But yeah, it could have used a couple more episodes. And like you said, some of the stuff was a little bit janky. But again, they're being put to put so much stuff out. And it's always the same type of situations in these Marvel TV shows where it's always a green screen and then a couple people in front of it and then it stops. When it's actual generalized VFX shots, it's much better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I said it to you earlier. Like throughout the whole show, the editing is great, and they like piece together her costume through the whole thing, thinking she's just gonna wear it herself, and then her mom gives it to her of all people. I'm like, that's such a good touch. She's just like, I understand why you love this stuff. Just let me help you. And like the mom gives her the costume, and the dad gives her the name.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
That was so well done. And yeah. It was good. I could have used another episode or two again because it was like it's the thing. But again, she's literally a giant part of this was like we're introducing you to someone who's going to be in a movie and is going to be important moving forward because you have the Marvels going on, and then she's also the first mutant.
Yeah.
There's a reason I chose to wear this shirt today.
And it's one of those things where I talked with you before. You could have gave me a billion guesses of what the last second reveal of some random who's it was that they were going to put in the show. Never would have got that. But I can tell you right now, there is some internal rule at Marvel where we put Black Bolt in Doctor Strange. We fixed him. We are never mentioning Inhumans again as long as we live.
As long
we
as
got X-Men back. We don't need them.
As long as they don't have to mention Inhumans, there is no way.
It went so big. It's so wrong.
Oh,
It's almost like I'm proud of them for how bad they did it in a way, because they really committed to how bad it was.
they did. That was going to be their X-Men because that's all they had options for. And then they went, we're buying them back. We have them now.
I think the only one downside to not having the Inhumans is the missed opportunity of Kamala hanging out with Lockjaw.
Yeah.
It is, but you know what, man? Part of me's like, we could just like take you, put it over here, and we're not going to mention where Lockjaw came from. Because you know
and Captain Marvel, and then we just bring in Lockjaw. Like it's just here.
Exactly, because you know what they did. You know what they didn't mention when they introduced Black Bolt again? The Inhumans.
Yep.
Black and Gold.
Yeah, he's just Black Bolt.
That's all he was.
Mystery guy.
Exactly. They're like, he's really cool and people like him. Forget everything else. But yeah, making her the first mutant, that's great. Because she even plays it off. That is a big deal. It's another label. I don't care. That was such a good line. It was so well done.
Mm-hmm. The setup for just that like casual name drop was perfect. Now, Teresa, I have to ask, how did you feel about the Department of Damage Control as a kind of sort of antagonist for this series, and especially the finale?
I kept waiting for like someone to be behind them. Like I was like, where is this is this like a little Easter egg that's gonna lead to like something? I kept thinking like when she was getting on the phone, she was gonna talk to like Julia Louis-Dreyfus's characters or something like that. And it never came. They were just like, this department sucks. It's Homeland Security gone wrong. And we're just gonna go with it. And I liked it, made sense in the mosque scenes. They're like having something to say. I like that it was like the neighborhood protecting her from the government, and eventually the cops were like, no, get out. Yeah. And I like that, like they're saying like they didn't go like all cops are bad, although I would have really been fine with that. But they were like, these cops especially, get rid of them. So I like that, but I was like, but who told them to go there? Like, how'd that happen? Like, just wanted a little bit more explanation. Because I'm like, is she just gonna go back to her house and they're gonna pretend like they can't figure out where she is? Or they're just gonna accept it and be like, leave that mutant girl alone. So maybe it'll be all revealed in the next iterations. But I was like, who are they and why? Like a couple of times.
So in the MCU, damage control was established in Spider-Man: Homecoming as like kind of like a joint venture between Stark Industries and the U.S. government.
Oh, they were like to clean up all the messes that they made. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the last time we saw them was in No Way Home when
they arrested Peter and all that.
Yep.
I didn't know that was. I was just like, the government's getting them.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah. It took me a little bit to recognize the same guy, but I also do like that even, and I told Mike this during our review, was like, damage control is literally just trying to do a job. And then this one girl was like, I don't care. It's whatever. It gets to a point where damage control is literally trying to do damage control for damage control. Like, you are not going to assault teenagers at a high school. What are you actually doing? Stop. This is not what our jobs are.
Because I felt like she was going to say something like, I want that promotion. I'll take his job if this goes well, or something. But she was just like, no, I'm going to make a bad decision right now. I'm going all in. And I was like, okay.
And it's also kind of interesting how they never once used the R word like to describe what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I really hate them. And I'm like,
but why?
Why specifically them?
Like it can't just be because they got powers.
Exactly. It's like you're losing your job when you could just go home and then deal with her when she's not at the high school.
Yeah, just like wait. You have like robots flying around.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
But as I kind of alluded to in a tweet I put out last night, after like this series, I'm no longer nervous about how the MCU will handle the X-Men, because they've already kind of established that like not all superheroes are celebrities, or just because you have powers doesn't mean you're like Tony Stark in terms of like popularity. Like now you have people like Wanda who are kind of notorious for bewitching an entire town.
Yes.
And then you have the whole deal with Kamala and Kamran. So they're really sowing the seeds for what the X-Men could be in this universe, and that's something really exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, again, just Kamala's parents are the best. Even I honestly just love all of Kamala's family.
Yeah, her brother was cool too.
Yes. And her friend group was great.
Yes.
Nagia, Bruno, and
Zoe.
And Zoe. She just cruises in at the end. By the way, she saved my life too, so I want to help. Where were you? Let's just doing some TikToks in the theater. It's got really good lighting. So what are we doing?
Yeah, I was like,
that was so Saturday morning cartoon, and then they did it the rest of the time, and I loved it. I was like, this is how it would happen if they just did. I was like, they didn't go, we're big adults now. I'm like, no, I want this to stay like a Disney show, like a Disney show that happened to have superheroes in it, and it kept being that. That's what made me so happy.
Same.
No, we're gonna do a science experiment, do the racket balls, and we're gonna do smoke bombs and shit on the PAs. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, everything about that finale was just so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Anything else before we get to, the other big reveal?
I'd say maybe we should say if you're tired of the MCU, I feel like this is like a complaint people starting to get. I feel like even if you're tired of the MCU, give Miss Marvel a chance. It doesn't have to be connected to anything. You could literally start today and watch it and not have seen anything else and love it. And if you love YA books and if you love like really wholesome families that can make you laugh, I think you should watch it.
Yeah, well said. Like I know even in the first episode, this show really kind of marinates itself in the lore of the MCU, but outside of that, the only other comparison I can make to this is like Shazam, which is also kind of similarly marinated in the DC films that came before it, but it's still kind of doing its own thing.
My honest thing is, and it's the dumbest version of this complaint that I've heard, is that people are either happy that that shows aren't connected, but then they'll bitch later on that they aren't. But also like they're not going towards anything. This is fucking stupid. There needs to be a plan. I'm like, it's almost like we're doing phase 1 again.
Yeah.
You loved it then because you knew it was leading to something. Maybe you should be fucking patient and realize they could put a lot more out in the same amount of time and then make a big old schmoz thing again at the end. But oh no, we need instant gratification because we got it for 10 years straight. For Christ's sakes, be patient.
And here's the other thing. Before the Avengers, phase 1 was never even uttered. Like,
no.
Like most people, until they saw the Avengers, and unless you're like, a diehard Marvel fan, you didn't know what was going on. You didn't know what the plan was. You were just watching these movies because, ooh, wow, there might be some connections.
Yeah, and neither did they. Does everyone remember how little sense the connecting end credit scene made at the end of The Incredible Hulk? Where Tony is trying to recruit a team? I'm sorry, what? They didn't even know what they were doing at first with that crap. Mm-hmm. Disney bought them after they made Iron Man. People like to forget that was a studio before Disney bought them. And then they went, here's all of the money, make the things. And then they just dropped that they're making Avengers in the credits of Captain America. They were like, this is the coolest thing ever. Blah. You didn't care. There was just Nick Fury happened to be in a bunch of things. That's all it was. Basically. And then it became phase 1. And then everyone went, well, there needs to be a big thing. Otherwise, it's stupid. Everything doesn't need to be connected. But when it isn't, we're still going to bitch because we feel like we're entitled to everything.
Yeah.
They give you so much. But then you bitch when you have it and it's not made the way you want it. There's a reason they make 6 different versions because you can find the one you like. Like Therese said, you can watch this and not have to watch anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Be happy. Moon Knight. You could never have heard of the MCU and you could go watch Moon Knight.
Exactly.
Just be like, I like Oscar Isaac. Let's see what this is.
Exactly.
And it works.
People are now bitching that they have too much to choose from.
Well, everyone's going to complain about something, but yes.
It's ridiculous.
It is. But I'm glad that we have a show like Miss Marvel. Not just because the character is a lot of fun, but it's great representation for Southeast Asians and for the Muslim community, for New Jersey even.
I was like, Jersey people get their moment. It's not New York being blown up. It's Jersey City this time.
Dude, Jersey gets so much. Bon Jovi getting all the love in the world as a Jersey City boy. It was like,
oh yeah, forgot to mention there is plenty of love for Bon Jovi in this show, which was just kind of cute.
It was.
He needs to be in season 2. Just a little cameo, just like a little one.
I hope there is a second season after the Marvels.
Or
And also,
put them in the Marvels, something.
and also, the thing that needs to get put to bed: a show isn't considered unsuccessful if it doesn't get a second season.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just make a
sometimes-
show to make it.
Yeah. Like that. That's what a limited series is.
Yeah. That's unreal. It's like they literally made a prequel to the Multiverse of Madness with WandaVision. That was its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. But yeah.
So before we move on to Thor: Love and Thunder, Tommy, I know you haven't caught up with Miss Marvel yet, but what was your awareness of the character before the show premiered?
I knew of the character. I just knew it existed. I knew there was more than one Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers was the only one that I was familiar with. I knew there were others, but I just knew it existed. That's pretty much the only thing I could say about it.
And now she's probably going to be more people's favorite now that the show is finished.
And the thing about the Marvel, not only the cinematic universe but the universe as a whole, is it gives viewers an idea. We're not going to have another Avengers movie probably for a heck of a long time, but it makes one wonder. It's always fun to ask themselves, what would be who would be the new six and who would it consist of? And if the trends continue, Captain Marvel, whether it's Carol Danvers or Ms. Marvel, they'll take the mantle that Captain America left behind in that figure role in the Avengers to what he was.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I also think if we're not getting like a traditional Avengers anytime soon, we're at least going to get young Avengers. And I'll explain that a little bit more once we actually get into it, but for now, let's just get into Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh yes.
This is the 29th movie in the MCU. First of all, that's crazy to think about.
It is ridiculous.
My life.
This is written and directed by Taika Waititi, and in this film, we followed Thor's journey after he's, I guess, kind of retired from traditional superheroing. He's off with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and this is all interrupted by Gore the God Butcher, a galactic killer who seeks the extinction of the gods. Thor enlists the help of King Valkyrie, Korg, and his ex-girlfriend, Jane Foster, who now inexplicably wields Mjolnir as the mighty Thor. Together, they embark on a harrowing cosmic adventure to uncover the mystery of the God Butcher's vengeance and stop him before it's too late. So, Tommy, I'm going to start with you.
Right.
First of all, what have you thought of Thor's franchise altogether?
Altogether, it has, the way I see it before, it has its own unique take. Like you think superhero movie, obviously Thor would be the go-to. The different directors in the beginning, but in the case of Chris Hemsworth, while he enjoyed playing the role, he wasn't able to be. I guess the best way to put it is like how Iron Man said it in the first Avengers, Shakespeare in the Park. Dearest mother, no, you weareth her drapes. Exactly. And then enter Taika Waititi. And Chris Hemsworth was able to have so much fun with that character in Ragnarok. And it continues, and it continues here.
Oh, yeah. I can just tell just from these two movies alone that Hemsworth is having so much more fun playing the, I guess, kind of the himbo version of the character. Although, if you go back and watch clips from the first movie, especially, he's like not much of the character has changed. He just gets to be a little bit more. He just gets to bring out more of his natural charisma in Waititi's films.
Or humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More comedic timing.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So now we've come to like Love and Thunder. What did you think of the movie overall?
I thought that it was the best. I said on Twitter and in my review, the result of what Takia set out to create was pure summertime popcorn entertainment. And it's a story that Takia set out to create that can be inspired by adventure, something that classic films, not only that's necessarily superhero related, but something that adventure classics such as Indiana Jones
Or like Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, exactly, that can be proud of. And while Love and Thunder may not be in the same caliber as Ragnarok or anywhere near the level of cinematic achievement set by the Avengers quadrilogy, it's still a fun experience that's displayed in its own unique B-picture type of way. And the viewer, it all really depends on the mindset of the viewer that can really breathe in if they go in, because once the viewer realizes that the movie is going to go down a particular story route, that it's on a particular level, I guess you could say, if they don't sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, it really depends on the mindset that they go into seeing this movie. If they don't enjoy the movie for what it is, then they're not going to have a difficult time with it. Excuse me.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I've heard very, very mixed reviews across the board. Some that adore it, some that hate it, and some that are just kind of in the middle. Teresa, what did you think overall?
Yeah. I didn't love it as much as Ragnarok, but I did love it. I was like, Thor, Guns N' Roses, like, let's do it. Like, I love all that songs.
That's right.
Someone was like, it's too much Guns N' Roses. And I was like, once there's two, what's another two? Like, it's fine. I'm here for it. I love the goats. Even thinking about the goats right now, I'm like, this is hilarious. Because it's bonkers. And we're like, this is it. I loved like all the like funny parts. I was laughing before like the joke was probably like even done. I was like, oh, I know I know. Like the play with like Matt Damon, I was like, here we go. So I thought all of that was great. I thought the love story was a little weak. I get it from Thor's side. Jane's side, I'm like, well, what the hell has she been doing? Like, I need more. I needed a little bit more in her the little flashback, but I love the hilarious showing of their relationship and their breakup, like that whole thing. And the narration, I thought it was great. And like, I get it. I thought it was very self-contained movie. I thought Chris Hemsworth was having the best time. And I love that it ended with them basically causing a bunch of fucking trouble. So I thought that part was great. So if you give me more Thor, I'm probably up for it. I wasn't like completely wowed though. And that's probably what Tommy's talking about. It's like a B level, like adventure, like the first Clash of the Titans or something. Like we're really going in for the camp. And I thought it was great, and it was beautiful looking.
There were a lot of beautiful moments, especially when they were in the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was awesome. And I love the children, and they were just so adorable. So I thought it was great. I'd see it again.
I can't remember who I said this to, but this movie more than like any other movie in the MCU, it felt like Disney spent A-list money on a B-list product, and that's not like, that's not an insult. I like this felt like a movie that you could rent at like Blockbuster or like some mom and pop video store from like the 80s, with just like, you know, modern dialogue and like a modern sense of humor, but just the way it was put together felt like a very old school kind of blockbuster.
Yeah, my mom actually
Absolutely.
thought it was a fake movie. She thought it was a parody, and it wasn't actually a movie coming out. And I was like, "No, Mama, that's like a real movie. Like, it's like a whole thing." She goes, "They're just being silly. That's not a real thing that's coming out." And she's seen most of the movies. Usually, we go to the movies and she falls asleep, so she doesn't really understand what happened at the end of the adventures and all that. And then she'll go back in Disney Plus. She'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I don't remember what happened in Doctor Strange. I'm gonna finish it." So from an elder lady point of view, she was like, "That's a joke. That's not real." And then I was like, "No, it's real." She goes, "Well, I do like Chris Hemsworth. I'll probably watch it one day, but I'm not going to the movies." And I was like, "Okay, well, we'll watch it when I get to your house." But she literally thought I was making it, because I was like, "I'm going to see Thor." And she's like, "Thor? What the what Thor?" I thought this was just like a fake ad for like something Disney was doing, and I'm like, no.
Oh, that's funny.
I love it.
So Brock, would you agree that this is like the A-list version of a B-list of a B-tier movie?
This is coming from the guy who, for fun, watches movies like Birdemic and Zombie Croc. No, I do very much feel like Taika was trying to make his version of a Saturday morning cartoon with Marvel characters.
Yeah,
that is my take on it.
You can kind of feel that in the tone. Like it comes across like this is probably the best live action He-Man that we're ever gonna get.
That's a lot of what I got from it. It was like Taika knew what he's making, and he got all the money in the world to make it. For me, like, because there was still a plot, there was still all that. For me, it takes a lot for me to be this B level because of the amount of just pure garbage I have voluntarily watched in my life. But I liked almost everything about it, if I'm being perfectly honest. There was one or two times where I was like, that didn't need to have a joke there. And there was only once that I can remember. It was the speaker. That was the one time where I'm like, you have the serious moment with Jane, and she has the cancer flashback with her mom. She smashes the sink. You have the funny moment where she's like, I don't know if the sink would agree with that. She's like, you packed up, ready to go. We got all this. And she does that. It's a speaker. And then she goes back to God, please don't tell Thor about that. He's like, I got you. And then they leave. I'm like, in my opinion, you could have saved that joke for a different moment or just not done it. But that was the only time I felt that in the whole movie. I personally myself thought the love thing worked from both ends, because I'm one of those few people that remembers some of the stuff that happened in Dark World.
Yeah.
It showed that Jane is very much not good at dating. And like the one good relationship she had was Thor, because she's literally committed her entire life to science. And the only other guy she tried to date was blander than me on toast with rye bread. She's not good at dating. So for me on that level, it worked. And like I couldn't get over like just the pure directing change to an exact rom-com that went in with those flashback scenes. It was ridiculous. That shouldn't have fit as well as it did, but it did.
And set to the tune of Last Summer by ABBA. Just kind of made that montage just perfect.
Oh, absolutely. And then it's like, I'm like, you have to give me a damn good reason why Mjolnir was calling to her. And then in a basically drunken stupor, he's like,
protect that girl with all I have. I love you too, buddy. And then it literally inscribes itself into the hammer that if she's in danger to protect her, I'm like, you nailed it in a 2-second scene. Like, awesome. Like Therese said, they actually made Matt Damon's character an actual character in this movie. Matt Damon went from the king of the cameo to his cameo being turned into a character.
Yeah.
Like, how? And then Matt Damon is theater director in the MCU. Matt Damon is Ragnar is New Asgard's theater director. It's unreal to me. But in like outside of Tessa Thompson, who she's a beautiful woman on a normal day. I don't know what it was about her in this movie. My God, she was gorgeous in every scene that she was in. Tessa Thompson is effortlessly a just great girl. She doesn't even try, and she's flawless. She's ridiculous. Getting to see the whole actual cancer thing with Jane, I didn't know they were going to go that far with it. I didn't know they were going to be that serious because, again, it's a Taika movie. But they did, and I was happy they did because, going to be honest with you, I am a guy that suffers with not the cancer route, but I'm going back to like the seriousness and the funny with the seriousness. I'm a person that suffers from dysthymia, or as now they call it, persistent depressive disorder. Guess what's a really good way that people deflect depression? Jokes, consistent humor.
Yep.
Who is probably the most depressed Marvel character of the original 6 that is still bumping around? It's Thor, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So there's a good reason why he turned into a jokester. It works. So, like, all the joking and stuff, it fit for me. And especially with Thor, he was like, I need a reason to do this. He's incredibly depressed. Why is he depressed? You get that that freaking montage from Korg in the start. His mom died. His dad died. His brother died multiple times. And there's him. There's him. And the one that I've seen them film 3 times. I almost pissed myself laughing. And then there's that guy. Few people like reading the own lines they've written for themselves in Taika Waititi. But yeah, just every joke they put on was great. I could tell you right now, I never in a million years thought they were actually going to get Christian Bale to sign up to be a Marvel villain.
And yet he might be like probably top 5 MCU villains.
He's
of
up
all
there
time.
for me. Outside of like American Psycho. What's his name?
Patrick Bateman.
Patrick Bateman. When's the last time you got to see Christian Bale ham it up that hard?
It's been a minute.
He almost never gets to. So it was so refreshing seeing him cackling and like chewing all this stuff, just chewing up scenery. He's like, see, we're going to chop his head off. What, you liked that a minute ago, didn't you? It was really refreshing. He was great. And I love that they've kind of taken the God of War approach to gods. Guess what? Sometimes they're just douchebags.
Yeah.
They really are. Because if you read the not Disney versions of a lot of people, the most outlandish and ridiculous thing Disney's ever done is make Zeus a loving father.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tommy, I have to ask, what did you think of Russell Crowe's outlandish performance as Zeus?
I thought he was absolutely hilarious. I thought that it was great. I mean, you saw if you saw the promotional material, you knew that it was going to be. It was that you were in for something absolutely hilarious. And even though you sit there in that theater and you know what's coming with that comedic moment, and it still lands absolutely brilliantly.
Yep.
I mean, you just to go from that and the shock, like, wait, what? And that it during the when the actual fight happens and in that I'm drawing a blank. What was the
Omnipotent City?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. When that happens, and then the end credits happen, So the end credits, the mid credit scene. Mid credit scene. It's been a day, but when that happens, and you're able to see how that dynamic, wherever the story of Thor leads us, we're in for something incredible, and they're taking that Roman mythology to the next level. It was just wonderful.
Yeah, there's a lot that I love about the Omnipotent City scene.
Yes.
I mean, not just the fact that in the MCU there is sort of like a central hub for all the gods, but that it's a scene that you think is going to be like the turning point, but it turns out literally they're just there to grab a weapon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
Go
they
ahead,
wanted to see people.
I was gonna say it's one of the points where they're like, in the early films, they were kind of like, yeah, Norse mythology kind of exists, and then there's a couple people in space. This is one of those movies where they just went, no, they're all here. We're not going to talk about them all right now, but literally everyone exists all over the place. They're all here.
That's
like,
when
we
I
don't
say-
care anymore. We don't care anymore.
That's the only reason why I really want to rewatch it in theaters, because I'm like, I just want to study that scene and be like, who's there? Who's that? What did I miss? Who's next?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I don't really often go back to revisit the movies as much, like on streaming or home video, just because now there's like too many of them. But this one specifically, I'm looking forward to getting the chance to watch it on Disney Plus and pause at like all the scenes, like where they have all the different gods, just so I can point out who's there, who's missing. Because in the Marvel universe, there are a lot of like cosmic beings. Like they have the Celestials, they have Korg's people. They have the Ennead, but most of them are dead.
And the ones that are alive are useless.
Yep.
Can
There's a lot that they stuffed into this, and I can't believe this movie is only 2 hours, because I could have spent another at least 20 minutes minimum hanging out with these characters.
Absolutely. And that's one of the strengths for the stories, that you actually feel, when you watch this movie and you are able to accept where the story's going, you feel as if you're side by side with this god of thunder and his ragtag motley crew of desperados heading into battle to fight along and to fight Gore and get the kids back.
Something else I want to ask. Speaking of the motley crew of desperados, like obviously the Guardians of the Galaxy were never going to be, mainstays in the film, but would you have liked to see them in the movie longer than just like the intro scene?
I don't think.
I was okay with how it was.
I think that they were in there for just the right amount of time. I think if you did it any longer than that, then they would have started to overstay their welcome, and they would have just been forced for contractual obligations. And you don't want to. Even though they made the comment of where they were going to be going without Thor, and could they do something with that over time? Probably. But it just didn't. I don't think that they. I think it would have been overkill if they went further with that at that point.
I think I actually agree with that. Teresa, what about you?
I feel like there might like not like a full scene, but just a scene where they're like, we found out the dude who's causing all the trouble, and they like let the Guardians know or something kind of scene. I feel like that could have been, but I understand why they didn't, because they have the cancer thing. And then they have like she's Thor now, and just like going to mention, of course, Thor would be like, I'm not gonna talk to my old friends, tell them what's up. I'm caught up with myself. So I thought that was fine, but my friend did complain that there wasn't actually enough gore explanation, and I kind of
Really?
agree with that.
Really?
They just wanted more. They wanted more Christian Bale, and I was like, I kind of get it. It's a sword. He's possessed. Like, it's bad. Go get him. But I feel like they wanted more showing him killing goths, kind of thing.
I mean, I'll concede that if this movie had been like maybe 10 or 15 minutes longer, and I guess maybe if this wasn't filmed during COVID, we might have seen a bit more of like gore actually going around and chopping off some heads. It might also be like a ratings thing. Like maybe this was like their way of getting like strictly a PG-13, so they didn't want to go too violent with the killing. I don't know.
I
They
wouldn't.
got their way out of it though, because they did the movie thing. The blood's gold, so it's not blood.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if like, because I think if they went down that particular route of like gore going around, like if there was a montage of that type of thing or whatever the case may be, I think that would have been way too dark for a family audience, and that would have been
Probably.
if you take that and you add it into it, your selling point, it's an accident waiting to happen. So I wouldn't have done that. I think that it was perfect for the way it was, and that actually kind of surprises me, Teresa. They said that there wasn't enough
I think they're
Christian Bale gore story. Excuse me.
It's my friend. She's German. I feel like she needs more like logic, just like a little bit more logic. And I'm like, I don't. This is Taika's show. I don't need more logic. Like I
Right.
get it. So I feel like they're just seeing that, and then I just want more Jane. If you were gonna really try to sell me like this is the love of her life, like she's fucking awesome boss without the hammer. So I just wanted a little bit more of like her actual life story before cancer. So yeah.
Something I was thinking about when I saw this movie for the third time is like how different this movie would have played out if it was just through Jane's point of view. Like, and I was actually kind of comparing this to the movie 50-50, which is like a comedy drama about cancer. And I think that might have satisfied people who maybe thought, like you said, there wasn't really enough of Jane's like personal arc. And I was also thinking maybe you even get the director of 50-50 to kind of balance out the humor with the drama a little bit more. Brock, what did you think of Jane's arc as a whole? Do you think we got enough for this story?
In my opinion, yeah. Like, we've known for 4 movies now that Jane is the best at science for all that science can do, and that she's won multiple awards and done everything in books. Now we just know she's been struggling. In my personal opinion, I don't need to oh, she also had cancer then too? Okay. Like, she's had cancer for 4 months. We pretty much are at the start of when she got it. And we got enough info from Darcy to just basically stop hiding from people. I know you're getting chemo. You don't need to be at your fucking lab. Like, I got enough from Darcy in 2 minutes, in my opinion. But I can see why some people are more interested in other characters than others. But like, to me, for almost every arc to get us to the point where we just needed to hit the button and put go, Taika had enough in there.
again, it was a 2-hour film that it did a shitload with. In my personal opinion, I didn't need to see another scene with Jane going, "My life sucks," and no one understands why my life sucks.
Yeah,
For
but do you
me,
believe her love, like that she's been pining for Thor this whole time? You know what I mean? Like we see Thor pining for her, so like I get it.
well, I get that, but in my personal opinion, like what I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
she's shown that she is god awful at dating.
Okay, that's true. That's fair.
Because like in the last one, like I said, like Darcy calls her out where it's like, "You went from a god to this douchebag, and I know you don't like it." And then she literally goes, "Yeah, I wasn't feeling this," and then leaves. And then she committed herself to science because she was bad at dating. And in my personal opinion, it is what it is, but it's like, again, in my opinion, they showed enough. It's whatever it is. Would I have liked the film better if they would have showed another scene where she confessed her love to him and whatever? It's like, it is what it is. For the situation of where Natalie Portman didn't want to be Jane after the first film, and then she only did the second one because her friend was going to direct it, and then Marvel went, "No!" And then she was very much not wanting to be there in the second one. You had to work with what you had to work with.
Yeah, like
We're
that.
gonna talk about the second one.
Exactly.
That is, I think, in universe, the only reason why Thor and Jane broke up is because Natalie noped herself from Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she wanted to be something other than a
A
girlfriend.
lady friend. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got to have closure for all this. The one person that Thor never got to have closure with, because of that stuff, and that was Jane. And Jane, he has a hard time looking for someone to love. So that was a really good thing in my opinion. Again, that's just my opinion. If other people don't like it or didn't like it, that's fully fine. That's the magic of movies.
Exactly.
That's right.
Everyone can like things exactly how they want them.
Something else I wanted to mention that was just kind of cool is how much of Chris Hemsworth's family shows up in this movie.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like obviously that's his brother Luke playing the theater version of Thor.
Yes.
But his wife is actually the wolf woman we see in the montage, and that's his daughter playing Gore's daughter.
And his son is him running in the start for a hot minute.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the family's all there.
I want to see so badly how it went with Taika directing those two in that end scene.
Oh,
I want that deleted scene so bad.
Same.
Bonus features on the Blu-ray for Thor: Love and
So
Thunder.
good. His daughter was so good.
It's adorable.
Stay back, demon. Fine, I'll put on the boots.
Before we get too far away from it, we have to talk about the children.
Yes.
Specifically, Heimdall's son, Axel.
That's one question I have to ask before we go. And this is one where I can admit with people where if they did have a problem, it's whatever. Are you guys okay that they literally never mentioned he had a son until now?
Yes. I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I was fine with it, but I've heard other people complain, and I'm like, if you
That
want
I didn't care.
it's okay. Yeah.
hasn't Heimdall like vaguely mentioned a family in like previous films?
I don't remember.
He did. He
Like the first one.
First
I
one?
feel
Okay.
in one of the earlier entries. I can see it. I just can't pinpoint which one it was.
Like I don't think we.
Ragnarok.
It might have been.
Yeah.
It might have been Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But like I was just gonna say, I don't think we need to be spoon fed like
No.
every single piece of information about a character.
No,
It can come up when it's needed.
yeah, and we're all entitled to some welcome surprises every now and then.
Exactly.
And that
Exactly.
was a welcome surprise.
Also, I love how he's literally named Axel because of Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Of course. Full circle.
That's one of the two things I want to know. Was Taika just listening to Guns N' Roses when he was writing the film, and then that happened? And also, outside of Tessa Thompson, who likes goats, which one of Thor or of Chris Hemsworth or Taika finally saw the screaming goat meme before this movie was written?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It had
like,
to be someone.
because the meme is, I want to say at least like 10 years old now.
For sure.
Yeah.
So either like one of the two just like happened to introduce it to the other for the first time, or it's not so much they introduced it for the first time. It's just, Taika's bored. He's, halfway through his rough draft. He's like scrolling up through YouTube, finds the meme. It's like, oh, this would be perfect.
The real question is, would the joke still have landed if they used an actual goat sound effect instead of the one they used?
Huh. That is a good question.
I can see it still working, but when you use this famous soundbite, it cranks it up to a whole nother level.
I did wonder for how many times that they kept doing it if I was still gonna laugh. Every time.
Yeah.
That one when they crash the ship into the planet and you have the perfect pause before the goat screams. It's every time.
So, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't making up, the goats exist in the comics.
Yes.
That's like real. They just weren't screaming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know Thor that well enough, but it's one of those things where I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I think as far as I know, like the goats are canon, but just the fact that the screaming is just a Taika detail.
Well, when I Googled it, they said it like someone just showed him the Taylor Swift using the goats in a song. Oh my God.
That'd be funny if that was true. But one thing, also, before we get away from anything too much, we're talking about relationships in this movie.
Yes.
Whoever decided to make Stormbreaker a jealous girlfriend was that give them a raise.
Yes.
Just him coming in off a screen. Oh, hey, buddy.
That was hilarious.
The Mrs. and the X. Welcome to every man's worst nightmare.
Oh, God. And he's literally going, oh, yep, the old battle axe over here.
I think the one case that I do want to say is that this movie, with all the heart that's in it, it is the theme of heart and love is the perfect opportunity to where a viewer of a specific generation can take this and, pending age appropriateness, will highlight themselves as the cool, in the manner of like being the cool aunt or uncle, like a manner that can pass this down as a wonderful way for families to spend quality time together. Because when one sees this, they can think of themselves as something like, this is the ultimate story of utilizing that cool superpower, no pun intended.
Absolutely.
And that's what this movie's going to be remembered for the most.
Speaking of like passing things down to the next generation, we have to talk about the climax where, and I don't know if this is even a thing he can do in the comics, but Thor kind of like deputizes the children of Asgard.
Yes.
That was great.
And
for a limited time only.
Was anyone else getting kind of like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome vibes with the children in the subplot?
A little bit.
I can see that.
I'm not necessarily complaining about their involvement because, again, Phase 4 has done such a good job at like slowly teasing the Young Avengers that I'm 99% positive this is not the last time we'll see Axel.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
he'll be back in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah. I do have a question. And it was something that worried me that might happen that I would not have liked, because it would have been kind of like giving back. Was anyone at all, while they were watching the movie, kind of freaked that possibly Gore was going to use his witch to save Jane?
Honestly, I never thought that for two reasons. One, he loves his daughter too much for that not to have been the outcome. And two, we're gonna talk about the mid and post credit scenes in a second. And there's a great breakdown video on the Real Rejects channel that kind of goes into like the possibilities for Jane's character should Natalie Portman decide to return. So no, at no point did I ever think Jane could be revived through eternity.
I was thinking this. In all honesty, I didn't think about it at all until you brought it up, Mark. But I think that if something like that did transpire, I mean, would it have been a twist? Absolutely. But I think I just see that walking on from a story construction standpoint, borderline betrayal to not only that, quite possibly could go either way with the character or the viewer, because when you think about that, you build up this character going to all this length to get that one thing back, and then all of a sudden, surprise! Like I just don't see how that would have come across.
Yeah, that's why I was scared for a hot second. I was like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. But I'm happy how it happened. That was just a slight tinge.
Teresa, what about you? Did you at any point think that Gore was going to use that wish to bring her back?
I did. Because I thought then he'd be like, because if he didn't think he was going to die, then he was like, oh, maybe I like just bring her back and then we can be together kind of thing. But of course, it's much darker. It's very much opposite of Jane's arc, like letting him go so one can live, kind of thing. Like that worked for me. But I did. It was a little because we don't know how possessed he is. Like, is like how much is left in there of him. And I feel like, you know, Thor gave him a pep talk, but like he had to have a little bit more in there of his true self. So I think what I was trying to think was, are they really going to let Jane die? That's what I was like worried about more in the scene. I was like, oh, he's not going to like blow up the guts. Like it's going to be more personal. So
yeah, and that's the thing too. You don't feel when comparing this story to something like, I'll use Multiverse of Madness for example. There's a feeling of not only you still feel a little bit of sympathy for Gore, though he's the main antagonist. You kind of want to see him succeed, and he's not too far gone in a way that Wanda was, to where you look at this and it's where you look at it and you don't see a story designed to hate the character. You want to see it get to that moment to where all parties are victorious at the end of it.
Right, because the thing about Gore's motivation is he's not entirely wrong.
No.
And we touched upon this before, how like in most depictions of all of these gods, they're not benevolent. They're either apathetic or they're just complete douchebags. And I respect this movie for its more honest portrayal of the gods, which helps to like really justify Gore's actions just enough, but you're still making him a villain by the actions that he's done.
That's where the rewatchability of this movie is going to be very easy from a decision standpoint down the road in comparison to other recent entries in the MCU. People are going to come back to that on an often basis because that's that type of story that they want and they will fall in love with, I feel.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into like the post-credit scenes, because there's actually a lot to discuss with these two things alone. First, we'll go with the mid-credits. So Zeus is not dead because killed by one lightning bolt. That's nothing.
No.
Nothing.
But what it sets up is the gods are pissed.
Understatement of the day.
Yeah.
I would love it if Thor 5 is just called The Gods Are Pissed.
I did a bad thing.
The revenge.
But more importantly, it's revealed that we're getting a Hercules played by...
He's there, he's every fucking where. Roy Kent.
Yeah, Brett Goldstein is playing Hercules.
I'm so happy for him.
I'll admit I haven't watched Ted Lasso outside of like a few clips, but just from like the costume alone, he's perfect.
Yes. That setup, I tell you, like the true question though, when you think of a Hercules, and do you buy or sell? Like honest, like first off top of your head, if you had to answer this question, buy or sell just from the get go, right? Goldstein is Hercules. Do you buy it or sell it?
I think I buy it.
I buy it. Is he the guy I would have thought of right away? Hell no. But I do buy him because if anyone knows like the Marvel version of Hercules and then you watch him be Roy Kent on Ted Lasso,
Oh yeah,
it translates pretty good. And you need someone that sounds like a little like having a good accent doesn't hurt in that, and just like his face matches Hercules pretty well to me.
Yeah, you need to have that ultra macho, manly kind of physique. Teresa, what did you think of the Hercules reveal? I think you're still on mute.
she's on the mute button.
I was like, okay, let's do it. I love that actors, and I was like, see where this goes. I didn't really think too much of like the implications because from the comics or anything like that. But then later I was like, oh, I guess it was about time Hercules showed up at some point. So it's pretty cool.
And I'm curious, like if not just like another Thor movie, where else we might see Hercules in the MCU? Because apparently, like he's gotten into some legal trouble in the comics at one point. So he has interacted with She-Hulk.
Okay.
If his first appearance outside of an end credit scene is in a courtroom, I'm gonna laugh till I die.
It might be a while before they interact, but still, that the idea of that is just kind of hilarious.
Can you imagine if the first place Juggernaut shows up as they do that? Oh my god, that's a discussion for another time.
Oh boy.
Wait a minute.
So in the second post-credit scene, Jane makes it to Valhalla, which is cool. Which is cool for a number of reasons. One, as far as I know, she's like the first human to make it to Valhalla. And while they joke about it at the start of the film, where Lady Sif is like kind of she's like out on the battlefield. It's like it's time for me to go to my resting place in Valhalla, and Thor's like, you have to die on the battlefield.
Maybe your arms in Valhalla.
But like, they set it up that you have to like die in battle to make it to Valhalla, and in more ways than one, Jane was battling, both literally and cancer is also a battle.
Yeah.
So that's how she was able to get in. And when I mentioned that there are possibilities for Jane after death, apparently in the comics, she becomes like the next the next Valkyrie after making it into Valhalla.
That's right.
So
forgot about that.
So if Natalie Portman wants to come back for any future Thor movies or just anything in the MCU, there is a way to do it.
What does she have to lose? I mean, if I were her, I'd say go for it. I mean, the money will be right. The character, it gives her an opportunity to really grow and have fun and perform. I mean, obviously, I'm not sure if Taika would come back to direct something like that. Can he? Absolutely. Will he? Who knows? But yeah, what does she have to lose by going for it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Having the door open never hurts.
That's right.
That I think that's why that's why I'm never the biggest fan of like certain characters only being able to be in like one movie. Like I know sometimes the story needs certain things to happen, but villains, for example, I like when certain characters get to hang around for like multiple movies, if there's like room for them to grow and advance. Like imagine if we never saw Loki again after the Avengers, how different certain events might be.
Absolutely.
Well, I also like it for a purpose of when it's good.
Yeah,
that's why Loki works out well.
That's right.
Yeah. Some characters will overstay their welcome, but others like killing them unless there's nowhere for their story to go. Killing them kind of like shuts the door on these characters. And even though Jane is literally in the afterlife, if they wanted to, there is precedent to bring her back.
Yeah, and you have to hope that they're going to do well with it, because you have the example with Loki, but then you also have the cool example where they're like, man, you know what? Michael Keaton as Adrian Toomes in The Vulture was really cool. We're going to keep him around. And then throw him to Morbius to never be seen again.
Sony gonna Sony.
So you just have to hope they handle the really cool character well.
Yeah. And I think that they will. I mean, because there's no way that I just don't see how Kevin Feige would take a good opportunity and waste it. And for somebody like Natalie Portman, to really give her the chance to really shine, not only as a performer, but to really, it's something fun that she's never done before. I mean, like I said earlier, what does she have to lose? Yeah. What does Marvel have to lose?
Yeah,
exactly.
Phase 4 for them and a couple of spots has been a lot about fixing things that didn't work the first time.
That's right. And And if the trends continue, I mean, the next big story, if we do get an Infinity War type of build up again, would be that of Secret Wars, and
Yep.
Mighty Thor that would definitely be there fighting alongside and co-leading the way, I guess you could say.
I think I'm in general just very excited for the future of the MCU, and as we're recording this, San Diego Comic-Con is 1 week away.
Yes.
And Kevin Feige has kind of promised we're going to learn more about the direction that the MCU is going in. So Teresa, I want to ask, is there anything specific that you're looking forward to in the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I'm trying to just let it happen. Just let it happen to me, and just be pleasantly surprised. But I will say I obviously want to see more gods, please. I'm probably the only one who wants more Eternals. That's me.
No, I need to see more Eternals.
Because the implications in space, what's going on?
That's the most
I
rad
love the
ending
space stuff.
ever.
Yeah, that's why I always like the Thor stuff, because I was like, space, yes, they're gods, they're falling down to earth. Let's get it. I mean, Iron Man was cool and he had his place, so did Captain America, but I love the space. So yeah, I just want more space stuff. And I just want more other characters. I just want to see the universe grow.
Same. Brock, is there anything that you want to see in now that the universe is really starting to expand? We're starting to see more of the street level heroes. We've got gods and other deities, and now we're getting more into magic. So what corner do you want to see expanded upon?
The still thing I'm looking forward to most is that third Deadpool movie. But honestly, I am really looking forward to a possibly good Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I want to see them handle Doom correctly. Because you want to talk about a character that's going to stay around for a while like Loki did. Dr. Doom is right there.
Yes.
And there is a rumor going around that he might be appearing in Wakanda Forever, which I think would be that would be probably the best place to kind of slowly introduce elements of the Fantastic Four before we get to the Fantastic Four.
Could get there
because as of now, I don't think they have a director lined up, which could be revealed at Comic-Con or D23, wherever. But hopefully we hear something soon. Tommy, what do you want to see explored further in the MCU?
Oh wow, I'm in the same boat as Teresa. I'm willing to just as long as everything continues to go smoothly, I'm willing to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. I would like to, as I was saying earlier about getting back to basics when it comes to who I call it the new Shield 6, who is going to wind up taking those mantles for the next generation, and how Marvel will build those blocks one by one. I see them really utilizing both Disney Plus and the theatrical, really bringing everything together. But the beauty behind what Marvel does is when one watches an Avengers movie specifically, it's not presented in a manner to where it is an absolute requirement to view everything else beforehand. So I think that it would be really, I just really see them utilizing everything and everywhere all at once, literally, to where it all comes nicely together and showcase just why Disney's not merely a juggernaut, but the reason why we escape to go to the movies and watch our favorite streaming shows.
Well said.
Thank you.
I think overall, what I want to see from the MCU moving forward is just throw caution to the wind. Keep doing what you're doing in terms of filling out the universe, because I think what they have going in Phase 4 has been probably the most excited I've been about the MCU since Phase 1. Really, I like that we're exploring more of the multiverse. I like how ever since Hawkeye, they've been like slowly bringing back the characters from the Netflix shows. Like it was confirmed recently that Daredevil and Kingpin will be in Echo.
Mhm.
And there's like a 99% chance that you'll see Matt Murdock in She-Hulk.
There's also rumors that you might see Jessica Jones in She-Hulk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even Luke Cage has a place somewhere, I'm sure. We can retcon Iron Fist.
I was like, that was the one. Every rumor comes up. There ain't nothing getting even made up about Iron Fist.
Not a one.
I do want to say, Mike, when you mentioned the one thing I will say is at my press screening for Thor, when we left, when everyone was walking out, they had a one-sheet teaser poster on display of Wakanda Forever. Wasn't much; it was just like a title and an announcement. But when you mentioned the idea of when the idea was mentioned, I don't know if it was you or Brock. My mind's going in a couple different directions, but the idea of introducing Victor Von Doom, and that I already see something like in an end credits, at the very least, an end credits scene similar to like with the way these characters have been introduced in post credits sequence to set the tone, to set the wheels in motion for something much larger. That's the exciting part, because you've already got the audience wondering who's going to show up next.
Yep.
That ultimately falls back to the brilliance of the MCU.
It's endless.
Exactly.
There's a lot to love about this franchise so far. Now, as we start to wrap up this podcast, any final thoughts on anything that we've discussed so far? Teresa, I'll start with you.
No, I think the last question kind of wrapped it up. I'm ready for more characters. Like, let's do it. Give me more, please.
Awesome. Brock, any final thoughts?
I'm upset that I probably have to wait another year and a half for the boys now. Outside of that, it's fine. They pretty much said all we want to say. I'm just looking forward to more and see what happens at San Diego.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm. This was a great episode. Tommy, I'm glad you got to join us on your first capes.
It was awesome.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I had a lot of fun being here. I'm really excited for San Diego Comic-Con and to see where everything else goes from here. Thanks for inviting me on, Mike. I'm really excited to be here. And for those of you who don't know me, you can follow me on Twitter at T_Hughes35, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat at the TMoney35, and follow me on Letterboxd as well, the TMoney35.
Awesome. And Teresa, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at Teresa Electro everywhere there are platforms.
And Brock, where can everyone find you?
You can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. Now that I have my better setup and not my dying laptop that I used to have, all my streaming is going to be going back to normal. So I'll be on Twitch a hell of a lot more.
Nice. And you guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. We're also on YouTube. You can find us on Podchaser, the Mid-Meter. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need escape? So do we. That'll do it for this episode of Renegade Capes. We will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Bye.